Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Denver, Colorado. Today, super fun one. We're gonna be talking about what life is like here in Denver and the five biggest reasons we feel people move here.
Let's check it out, guys. What's up, guys? We are the Mile High Property Brothers. I'm Eli Schmidt. This is my business partner, Will Grimes. If it's your first time checking out our channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, while you're here, hit that subscribe button and then the notification bell, because every Tuesday and every Thursday and every other Saturday, we're dropping a new video telling you everything there is to know about moving to or living in the entire Denver, Colorado region.
100%. And we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, which means as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with your real estate needs. So that number that's popping up below, we are the guys trying to the phone calls and the text messages and those emails. So if there's any questions that you guys have, we would love to help you. Without further ado, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what lifestyle looks like here in Denver, why we feel people move here. And it's not just why we feel. It's going to be based off of vlogs, blogs, past several hundred clients that we've helped, their opinion, what they say. So it's just a collective effort here as far as multiple sources and us conglomerating all of it and figuring out, I guess still in our opinion, of what we think are the five biggest reasons why people move to Denver. All right, guys, starting out, number one, we're going to save the super cool ones for last, not because we want you guys to keep watching. We hope you keep watching. Just because we're being jerks, we're going to make you keep watching.
That's right.
But let's point out some of the obvious. One, first and foremost, education. Right? So whether it's elementary school, junior highs, high schools, colleges out of here, the School of Mines are here. The School of Mines is here. Fort Collins has CSU, so great accredited schools, but you've also got Christian Valor here for high school. You've got Regis, Jesuit here for high school. You've got Cherry Creek School District 5. You've got Boulder Public Schools. You've got Douglas County Public Schools. Across the board, super phenomenal education system from little ones all the way through college education right here in Colorado.
Yes, and on top of that, you've got charter schools, private schools, everything in between. So the education...
Homeschools?
Homeschools.
If
they
you
do have
are,
homeschools in Colorado.
If you are a stud, homeschooler like Eli's mom was.
That's right.
Because he was homeschooled.
That's true.
And he's a
true.
stud.
That's true. What
Just
can you
saying.
say? What can you say? My mom is taking new applications too. If any of you guys are interested, she's got some room. So guys, the education system is number one here in Colorado, and with so many families that are moving out here on a daily basis, obviously that's one of the first things you guys want to look at. So like Will said, one of my favorite things is that we don't just have one school system that dominates them all. There are so many fantastic ones, and they are spread out all over the entire state.
And just competitive wise, right? When you have a couple good school districts, all of them tend to level up. And I think no matter what, regardless of what state you're looking at living in, there's gonna be a couple deal breakers for you, right? And if you're a family or if you value education, no matter how cool a state is, if they don't have a good education system, it's like, man, like no matter how close it is to the water or however cool it is, you don't wanna go there if your kids can't be taken care of education wise. So I think just out of the gate mentioning that, not only is it important to us and our families, but it's important to a lot of clients that we've had. And it's like, hey, that was one of the kickers of, yeah, there was a couple different places we loved. Colorado had a ton of stuff, but they also have the education. So keep that in mind, food for thought. We can also give you guys some resources in the links below as far as just looking up school districts and getting more information on one specifically if you guys have any questions.
All right, guys, number two, this might be one of the biggest reasons you're looking at moving to Colorado, and that is nature / all the outdoor activities we have.
Duh.
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 Now, guys, what do those activities look like? Because it goes much bigger than skiing and snowboarding. You're looking at a very baseline, just going outside for a walk. There's everywhere, walking trails, hiking trails, everywhere through all our Colorado neighborhoods, even downtown Denver. You've got paddle boarding, kayaking, whitewater rafting.
City Park has the paddle boats.
They do.
You've got a dog park every 2 blocks, even in the heart of
Yes.
downtown. Like we talk about this in a lot of our videos. Colorado as a whole, yes, you've got the Rocky Mountains, the outdoor experience, snowboarding, skiing, mountain climbing, mountain biking, doing the incline hike in the springs. Yes, but Colorado's literally spread that field throughout the entire state. So regardless of where you live, suburbia, Denver Tech Center, downtown, Springs, wherever you're at, they still bring that outdoor life into fruition, right? So you've got your trails and neighborhoods, you've got your dog parks and different things that you can do. They're literally encouraging no matter where you're at to be outside.
Yeah, and this is a year-long thing, guys. So one of the things that we'll hear you complain about, a lot of people are moving from Arizona. They're like, I can't go outside 7 months out of the year. The people that are moving here from Minnesota, I can't go outside 7 months out of the year. So they're kind of held captive by the weather. And in Colorado, since we have all 4 seasons, at the worst, you're out hiking when it's a nice, dry 92 degrees outside in the summer. At the worst, you're out skiing and snowboarding when it's, 28 degrees up on the slopes and it's amazing weather and fresh powder.
And there are things to do every single season.
Everywhere.
And the festivals are fun, the taco food truck competitions, the beer gardens that you have out here. Per capita, we have like the most breweries now per square mile, whatever measurement that is for Colorado compared to other states. So local breweries are a huge thing, which bleed into Beer Fest, which lead into Oktoberfest that are in the mountains and downtown. You've got Rhino Art District. But no matter where you go, they have a plan for each season and what they're doing. So there's never a time you can't go out and have a good time in Colorado. All right, guys, moving forward, number 3, we are big enough, but small enough, right? So what do I mean by that, right? So big enough as in, yes, downtown Denver is big. You've got nightlife, you've got big business down there, you've got your banks down there, you've got the Pullman down here, you've got Coors Field, you've got the Pepsi Center, you've got Mile High Stadium and Power Field. Mile High Stadium. If you're a native, it's Mile High Stadium. So
That's true.
If you're picking up what I'm putting down, but let me be more specific. Coors Field, where we have the Colorado Rockies play, I guess call it play. Don't get me started. I say it every time. That's where they play baseball. But they do concerts there. You've also got fireworks like every other week there. You've got Pepsi Center, which has every single concert. You've got the Denver Nuggets there. You have the Colorado Avalanche. Something that's super cool. Let me digress. You've also got Mile High Stadium where the Denver Broncos play, right? You've got Elitch Gardens, amusement park. You've got a ton of stuff here in Denver, Colorado. Yes, we are an international stop. So you can fly out here internationally directly from Colorado. But more importantly, it's big enough to where a lot of your tours come here. Kevin Hart, the comedian, or
Justin Bieber,
Jason Aldean, or Justin Bieber, like all these big events that come, whether it's musicians, comedy, things at the Art Museum, at the Natural History Museum. We are a major hub for that, which means you won't have to fly out to go somewhere to catch that good comedian or that good concert. More times than not, they're coming here, which is awesome. So we're big enough. There's plenty of things to do down here, and yes, you can call it a downtown. It is big. However, it's also small enough. You don't get consumed by it. Yes, there is still plenty to do out of downtown Denver when it comes to the mountains, even if you want to live in suburbia. And a lot of times we hear people that come from like New York, Chicago is one of them. When they lived in the heart of downtown, they felt like that's all they did. That's the only place that they were at. They didn't even need a car. And we've been telling people to get a car because there's so many things to do here in Colorado. And it's so easy to just commute outside of downtown Denver. Yeah, you're going to want to live a life outside of that utopia.
Yeah, and what else that means is that, hey, you don't need to live right in Denver.
Right.
It is extremely convenient for you to live out in suburbia and then on the weekends come and go to those concerts, to come into town, to go to the nice restaurants that are in the Highlands and things like that. And what we hear from a lot of other people coming from the big cities like the New Yorks is, yeah, if you live out of the city, it's a huge ordeal just to come to the city. But here, you're driving on I-25, you're getting off, you're finding a parking spot fairly easy.
You're not crossing the bridge, you're not crossing the bay.
Nope, You're doing what you got to do, and you're able to enjoy the afternoon and go back home.
Food for thought, but definitely understand that. But don't think that it's so small that you can't still go to fancy restaurants and do the opera.
Yeah,
we got opera stuff here.
We have operas.
You want to be all fancy? You want to black tie it up? We got it here for you.
Plenty.
And you can still commute home. And just to add on to that, our light rail system when it comes to downtown into the Denver metro area, really good. So if you do catch a game or if you do catch a concert and you're drinking or you just don't feel like driving because there's some traffic, the light rail system will get you back outside of here really simplistically, back to your car or back to your home.
All right, guys, number 4, that is all of the industries out here and the work employment opportunities.
Economics, man.
Economics,
right? Like one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
It's not just marijuana in Colorado. Matter of fact, no, you don't smell marijuana driving around downtown Denver unless you're hanging out with this guy.
No,
Cool.
not true.
Kidding. But
Not true.
hey, in addition to the marijuana industry, that has grown a ton here in Colorado.
yeah.
But so has the tech industry. You've got Facebook here. You've got Oracle here.
Salesforce.
Not only in downtown, Salesforce.
Yeah.
You've got them also in Boulder, not just here in downtown. And a lot of really cool stuff. So the economics here in Colorado, very forward moving, very front moving. So, but that bleeds into every other industry. The more people you have in here, the more cars are getting sold, the more people are buying gas, the more people are buying things at stores. So it helps small business. It helps everything in and around Colorado. So a lot of the reason why people come here is not only for their work, but just the future of where Colorado is going.
I don't know how you can mention Facebook without mentioning Crocs. I mean, come on, what's Facebook to Crocs?
My apologies. Crocs is here.
I bought some Crocs the other day, and the sales guy told me, if you ain't crocking, you ain't rocking. And I was like, hey, bro, I like that. I'm going to use that. So shout out to the Journey sales guy. I am not rocking today, though.
If you can't tell, these aren't scripted. Sometimes they'll say things I just like wish I wasn't here for. Too late. I'm already here. We're not cutting this again. We're talking freely. We're hanging out with you guys. It's in.
That's
I'm
right.
in. You gotta. Hey, I'm loyal.
But what
Whatever
I would say is, guys, when we're doing Zoom calls with you guys that reach out and you're talking about moving here, by far, I would say the vast majority of you guys are in some form of tech.
Yep.
I talk to a lot of software developers and programmers and things like that. A ton of salespeople that are moving out here.
Or folks that are not, but they're remote.
Google.
They're able to work remote.
Yep, you see that a lot with Facebook and Google. So a lot of these places, guys, you have the opportunity now within your industry to work remotely, and that really just opened the floodgates to like, hey, where do we want to go?
Yeah, and it kind of leads us back to our point where we're like, hey, we're big enough, but we're small enough. So if you don't want to live downtown, if you can work remote, or if you don't, but you want to live remote, or either or, there's plenty of space in the mountains. There's plenty of space in Elizabeth or out east. If you want to grab a couple of acres and have some like little house on the prairie, big house on the prairie, whatever style that you want here, like you can have that, right? So it's not like, Colorado is so big now. A lot of people are moving there. We are still super unincorporated. There's so much space in Colorado to still build on. So if you want more space, more land, more privacy, you can still have your tech job or whatever you like, or work remote, but then live that lifestyle versus your typical suburbia, your downtown, or your tech center style. So plenty of variations. I know I'm bouncing back a little bit, but it does bleed into the whole, we're big enough, but we're small enough at the same time.
Now that leads us into our 5th and final point, the big P word.
Ooh, you cannot pee outside. No.
Politics.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's the dad in me. I'm thinking like my son peeing on the wall downtown, I get in trouble for it. The other P, the bad word P.
Yeah, so diving into that.
We're not diving into your politics, but here's what we will say as far as why people move here and what they mentioned, and we've had several hundred past clients. Colorado's a melting pot. So whether it falls onto the Democratic side some years or it falls onto the Republican side some years, we kind of call it purple here because, like it'll go Democratic sometimes, it'll go Republican, but it's not so far to one that one bothers the other, if that makes any sense, right? So if you're Republican or if you have certain ideologies or values, no one's bugging you about it. And if you're the other, if you're Democratic or if you're independent or if whatever label I'm missing right now within your politics, no disrespect. I don't mean to miss some of the other categories. I'm just listing the major ones. But regardless of what you are, so many people have come here from around the country, from the northeast to the northwest to the southeast to the southwest to the midwest. Everybody's here, which means everybody kind of gets along, and there's not such a majority one way or the other that we're fighting or bothering each other or causing any discomfort for someone.
Yeah, and I think prime example, and this is a huge question that we get all the time on Zoom calls, is, hey, how has Colorado handled the COVID situation? And this is honestly one of the reasons that I think Colorado has recently blown up since COVID. And it was always blowing up, but blown up extra. And that's because Colorado is very sensible. So, for example, when we didn't really know what was going on, early 2020, they shut down businesses pretty fast, but then initiated a statewide mask mandate, which people adhered to, and then those businesses opened back up. So it's like, hey, businesses can function, but people wear their masks, and they did wear their masks.
And then the mask got removed, and we're pretty like smack dab in the middle. Like we're not too far one way or the other. Like if there was a person that could represent a state, it'd be like a Joe Rogan. Right? Like just
it'd be like The Rock. Yeah,
sensible,
it'd be like The Rock.
normal guy. Like, so there, again, like you've got some things here, but it's not so far where you guys are gonna be bothered, or it's not so far one way or the other where like you can't make this your home. And I'm talking like anywhere your home. If you're Republican, no, you don't have to move way out in the middle of nowhere. No, you've got plenty of Republicans that live downtown, and man, people out here are like a work hard, play hard. They're in it for what they're doing, and they're grinding, they're building their business, or they're working hard for whatever company they're working for. And then we're done with that. They're going to the mountains, and they're skiing, and they're snowboarding, they're going for hikes. No one's really sitting around talking trash at the coffee shop to each other, and whatnot.
No,
So I hope I'm articulating this.
Yeah, and I've heard multiple conversations between people, and it's like, again, we all have the common denominator of Colorado, in common. So it's like when I've heard people having these conversations, it's like, hey, it's not unusual to see like right now, we don't have a mask mandate right now. They took it down, and you'll see half people wearing masks, half people not wearing masks.
Yep.
Businesses can open, and it's like, hey, everyone, let's be safe, let's be sensible. But okay, cool.
How you doing? Keep it moving, man. Just do your thing and do what's comfortable for you. But yes, I agree. I think a lot of the reason why people are moving here is some of that. Like if they have options, if they could be at a couple different states, why are they choosing Colorado? Well, we feel, based off of all of our past clients, based off of some vlogs and some blogs that we've seen, we feel these are the top 5 reasons, right? But hey, if there's questions on that stuff, we can put you in the right direction. If there's questions on living here, we can also help you. And yes, we would love to help you because we are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado. And as much as we love making these videos for you guys, we would love more to help you with those real estate needs. So that number that's popping back up below are the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages and those emails. So if there's anything we can do for you guys, please reach out. We would love to do that for you. But until next time, until next week, or until next video, I don't know what day this is getting released.
Subscribe.
Enjoy the week. Enjoy the weekend. Like it if you like it. Subscribe. We will see you guys soon.
And comment. See ya.